This video is a review of the Socrative quiz on grouped frequency distribution. So this was the table that you were given. I've left an extra row on top. You'll see why in a moment. Question 1 asks us to find the modal group. This just means identify the group with the highest frequency. So we can see that this is the highest frequency. So this in turn must be the modal group, since this group has the highest frequency. Question 2 asks us in which group does the median lie? Well, to figure this out, I first of all need to know how many pieces of data I'm dealing with. So I need to take my frequencies and add them up. So the frequencies are up to 25. So when I want to locate then where the median should be, it's my regular n+1/2 formula. Don't forget, like we said before, summation f and n are the same thing. So in this case, it's going to be 25 plus 1/2, which means the median must be the 13th piece of data. So I need to find where the 13th piece of data would be. So I go back to my table and I do a quick check and I say, well, okay, the first 2 pieces of data are in here. When I get to my second interval, I'm including 5 more. So now I've got the first 7 pieces of data accounted for. Then I've got 8 more pieces of data, bringing me up to 15 pieces of data. Well, if this interval brings you up as far as the 7th piece of data, that means the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th must be in here. So that piece of data that I'm looking for, the 13th piece of data, is in this interval 14 to 16. Question 3 asks what's the maximum number of people that could be under the age of 15? So let's go through our table again. These people are 10 to 12, they're definitely under 15, so I can include those. The next group are 12 to 14. Again, they're definitely under 15. I can include them. And this next group of 14 to 16-year-olds, well, I don't know their individual ages. It's possible that maybe they're all 16, but it's equally possible that maybe they're all 14 or 14 and a half. I just don't know. But the question's asking me the maximum possible number of people under the age of 15. So I'm going to say, well, okay, it's possible that those people in this group are all under 15. So I'm going to include them. And so the maximum number of people under the age of 15 is 2 plus 5 plus 8, which is 15 people. Okay, so question 4 asked me to estimate the mean. It doesn't mean that I want to guess the mean. It means that when I get my calculation, it will be an estimate and it may not be an exact value for the mean if I knew every data point. So I've got a process for this. First one is to find my mid-interval value. And that's why I left that extra row at the top of my table. The mid-interval value is the halfway point of each interval. So for this one, it's 11. I can get that if I'm not sure by saying 10 plus 12 divided by 2. And the remaining mid-intervals are 13, 15, 17 and 19. So that my formula makes sense in a while, I'm going to put an f in next to my frequency and an x in next to my mid-interval. And now the formula for the mean, which is summation fx over summation f. So what does this mean again? Well, on the bottom it's pretty simple. It's just add up all the frequencies. In fact, I've already done that. And on the top, it means take each frequency and multiply it, so f, and multiply it by the relevant mid-intervals. So for example, 2 by 11, 5 by 13 and so on. And don't forget this symbol here, summation, just means add everything up. Okay, so in this case, my mean calculation will look like this. Mean is equal to 2 times 11 plus 5 times 13 plus 8 times 15 plus 6 times 17 plus 4 times 19 all over 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4. And I can just put this straight into my calculator and the solution I get is 15.4. So my mean in this case is 15.4. Again, just to emphasize this, estimate doesn't mean make a guess at it. It means do the calculation, but that the calculation, the solution that you get from your calculation is less accurate than it would be if you had each of these people's individual exact ages. Question 5 is a simple one. It says if each of these people spent €2 on a raffle ticket, how much money would be raised? So to figure this out, I just need to know how many people I have, which I know from my summation f, which is 25 people. And then I'll just multiply it by the €2 that each of them spent on the raffle ticket. So €50 was raised.